My name is Brian Becker, and I am part of the Open Access Petition Group. We received a letter yesterday from the City Attorney stating that 1,193 signatures were found to be invalid. Of these invalid signatures, 78 were invalidated because they were mailed in, 8 were scratched out, and the remainder were disallowed due to the fact that they were submitted on pages that did not contain the full text of the proposal as required by the state constitution. Our petition was often carried like this, with the front page and then a signature page as well. Sometimes the petition gatherer would have 2 or 3 extra pages. The Missouri state law says that each page of initiative petition shall be attached to the full and correct text of the measure. So we have the full text and the signature pages were attached. Now, in order to make copies, our staff unclipped the paper clip of the staple, separated them, made copies, and filed them separately. However, when they were signed, they were attached. The letter I wrote to Mr. Duncan and filed with him this morning stated, "In your letter dated November 17, 2011, you willfully violated a Missouri statute. Missouri Code of State Standards was violated, and I believe you have committed election fraud in the state of Missouri. I will be meeting with the county clerk to request that you report to the proper authorities for disenfranchising 1,262 voters of Poplar Bluff." John Mongeau lives in a quadplex on Ruth Drive. He invited me into his home and asked questions about the petition and our efforts. He was holding his arm in front of his body during our conversation, and as I typically did for seniors, I asked if he'd like me to fill out the information. John Mongeau, 2201 Ruth, 69 years old, 14-year resident. As I handed him the clipboard, he embarrassingly said, "I have to sign with an X now." His hand shook so hard that he struggled to even intersect the 2 scribbled lines. I hugged him and thanked him for his service to our country. That veteran who protected your freedom, that citizen of our city, that good man was told his signature was invalid because the city attorney and city clerk have no regard for our law. Charles, Kathy, and Heather Garrison had moved onto Mill Street, and we helped them file their voter registration change of address so their voter signatures would match their voter registration cards. That entire family was told their signature doesn't count because the city attorney and city clerk are somehow above the law. Or how about your neighbor on Normandy Drive, Angela Kirby? You illegally discarded her rights because you didn't want this on the ballot? I could go on and on because you didn't throw away pieces of paper. You threw out people. You invalidated neighbors. You violated our Constitution. You negated the rights of Poplar Bluff citizens and disenfranchised the people who pay your salary. Today, we will begin the seemingly impossible task of gathering 1,300 signatures in only 10 days, as required. But those 10 days are in the midst of deer season and the Thanksgiving holiday. I believe in the people of this great city, and I believe that they will come together and help us make this happen. I trust in their good nature and expect them to pitch in and help us get this done again. But let me make sure I'm perfectly clear. If you were operating with honor and decency, our petition would have been certified as valid and sufficient. Poplar Bluff voters have exerted their rights, and you have gagged, hogtied, and thrown them away like trash. Please, do the right thing. Put this on the ballot and let PB decide.